is up, everybody? Welcome to George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformers fan. Today on George Reviews, I'll be taking a look at my second favorite fictional character. He is my favorite Marvel character. It is Spider-Man. More specifically, this Spider-Man is based on the first appearance of Spider-Man. This is his second release. He was once released in the windowless packaging about a year ago now. Exact same figure, just done up in a retro card. And you know, a lot of old heads like me, we get excited for the retro card. Speaking of retro card, this thing is like triple thick. If you can see it, I get some light. It's like 3 layers of cardboard in here. Yeah, I'm getting some light on it right there. And everyone wishes they would use the same stock for the retro G.I. Joes and for the retro Star Wars. Now, to me, it's 3 grades of card backs from these guys. This is number 1. Number 2 would be the retro Star Wars Black Series figures, and then coming in dead last is the retro G.I. Joe classified figures. That cardboard isn't worth a damn. Anyway, we get this nice, amazing, sturdy cardboard right here. You can see Spider-Man fully within the packaging, and I believe this is a straight re-release. I think these are all accessories. I didn't have that version. I kind of passed on. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But he comes with 1 spider web. You can see it. Expanded wings and retracted wings. And 3 sets of extra hands, which is like amazing. This is like pretty much all the Spider-Man you need, but is it? On the back of the box, a little bit of a bio right there. Same thing, the tragedy, great power comes great responsibility. We have some artwork from the issue of the cover of his first appearance. Only thing is he's not holding the guy he was swinging with, dressed in the green suit. Same thing right here is like the reverse image right there. And we got web wings right there in multiple languages. But let me tell you, I always like to tell you a story. Last year, I kind of passed on this figure in the windowless packaging because I had the Spider-Man from the 3-pack. It's the exact same body mold, just painted up different from the different eras of Spider-Man. And that was my favorite Spider-Man. It was my only open standard Spider-Man. I have a ton of these guys. Like I say, Spider-Man is my favorite fictional character from Marvel, and my second favorite fictional character of all time. And my favorite fictional character will make an appearance in this video. See if you can spot him. So one day I noticed my Spider-Man wasn't on my shelf, and I'm like, whoa, I leave it in the same place all the time. So I asked my boys, I'm like, did anyone of you guys take Spider-Man? They're like, no. And after a little investigating, I found out that one of my nephews wound up taking the Spider-Man. They liked it so much, they took it home and lost it, or didn't have it, or they're not giving it back. So now I needed another main Spider-Man for my shelf. But I was able to get this figure to kind of make up for it because I love this body sculpt. Every time they drop a Spider-Man, most of the time they switch it up. He goes tall and short or whatever. And a thing that really appealed to me is like the thighs. They're not over sculpted. I have an older version. This is the pizza version. I picked this up at Toys R Us when it was still a Toys R Us. Now, this guy was cool for the time, but I never opened it because of the retro card. This is when the retro card first started being a thing, and this guy was really, really popular, and I just never opened it. Now looking at it, it's kind of like, yeah. I have another one, and I'm showing you this because I'm showing you all the different bodies of Spider-Man. Like, this guy was big and tall. I really like this one. I was hoping to get another one. I couldn't get another one. This came out like 3 years ago, 2020. And this was going to be my go-to guy, but I never got another one. I never opened it because of the cool retro card, and it's so sturdy. But put these guys side by side. I'm not going to open these other guys. But you can just see, like, each time they drop Spider-Man pretty much is vastly different. Right, now that I think about it, this body style has seen 4 releases now. 2 identical releases in different packaging. We had the original windowless packaging of Fantasy Spider-Man. Then we got the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends release. Then it was released at Walmart on another retro card with the cell shading. And now we get this direct re-release. Okay, I'm going to try to preserve my packaging. I'm doing a little opening at the bottom technique. Even though this was like sealed into the card, we'll see what happens. Alright, Spider-Man out. And I'm losing excited. Everything's falling. Yeah. So this concludes the unboxing portion. Let's get Spider-Man out. Yeah, I absolutely love this body. To me, it's the perfect height. It's the perfect body thickness. It's not overly muscular. Only thing that didn't fall out is the spider web. Oh, because it has tape on one end and it's inside the plastic over here. Alright. Let's get this back in here for now. And we sort of kind of preserve the packaging. If you haven't seen it before, I've been doing it a long time. I think people copy me, but people are doing it now all over YouTube. But here you go. Let's bring Spider-Man in for a closer look. First thing we're going to take a look at is the head sculpt on Spider-Man, but it's just a mask, not really a head. Only thing we got going on is the molded detail around the eye slits right there, indicating this is the artwork from the very first appearance of Spider-Man. And one thing people complain about this figure is the lack of a nose showing through the costume. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And definitely his nose should be poking out just a little bit more. I wish no one had ever really pointed it out to me. Or maybe they could have brought his chin out some more or something. It's just kind of just slopes down from his forehead and falls off his face. But the paintwork on the lines is excellent. No bleeding, no smudging, no breaks in the line. For whatever reason, they went with a blue logo on the back. I don't know if this is to distinguish it from the previous release, but as far as I know, this is not comic book accurate, and I didn't read every single issue, and there might have been one out there, somebody like, yes it was, number 106, he had the blue. But I don't know, but it's supposed to be red to my knowledge. The large Spider-Man logo right here on his chest. Paintwork looks pretty good. He came packed in with the closed fist. Line work on those look good as well. Molded in detail on the fingers look good. Coming down to his boots, they are separate plastic than the rest of the legs. And the line work on the boots look good as well. So let's get to Spidey's articulation. Check him out. I mean, if you already had this figure, if you had any of the other 3 releases prior to this one, you know what he's going to do. Spider-Man can look up this far, which is a great deal. It is awesome, mostly because he basically has a bald head, no hair on it. He can look down this far, which is a lot, from side to side. Head 360. All right, we're going to get his arms up to the side. They come up this far before they're hindered by this shoulder piece right here. I'm going to take the arm for a 360. Swing it out this way to activate the butterfly hinge and bring it in this far for the butterfly hinge. It's a pretty decent amount back across the body. Bicep swivel 360, activating the double hinged elbow. He can bend his elbow this much. Coming to his wrist, because they are interchangeable, 360. It is a middle of the palm wrist hinge right here. Coming to his abdomen, he can roll and rock around, and it's painted all the way to where the scope actually breaks up, which is nice. And coming forward, doesn't bend down that much forward, but when you activate it all together at the waist, it does. And speaking of that waist, it bends back this far. And if you want to rotate, they didn't want to break up the scope down here, so everything is at the top. You got to rotate it at the top. It will do a 360, but I don't want to do it and loosen it all up. But you see what you get out of that. And the legs to the front, Spidey, to the back, Spidey kind of hits his butt and kicks out a little bit. But you get the splits like this, almost a full split like this. He has 2 thigh cuts right here, and we'll do a full 360 on the thigh swivel. And the legs, I love these thighs because they're not overly muscular like most of the Spider-Man figures. Coming to that knee, double hinge knee, boot cut right here, and I say it all the time, no human leg actually swivels at the shin at all. Front rocker on his foot to the back and side to side. Yeah, it won't be no need for end commentary. I love the articulation on this figure. Love everything about it, except for maybe the black suit. The first set of interchangeable hands we're going to look at are these gripping hands. I don't think I've ever had gripping hands on a Spider-Man thus far in my collection. Okay, we pop these hands out a little tight and pop these in. After I demonstrate this time, I'm just going to exchange the other ones off camera. Just like that. It's a tight fit, but not overly tight. It's just snug enough. And we get these open gripping hands. You can hold on to the spider web, and we're going to get that spider web right now. In the pictures for the promos, they have his foot in here, but I always put it on his hand. Like without the open hands, I used to just wrap it around his wrist, but you can get on his hand and he can whee, shooting it off camera. Next up are 2 equal opposite web slinging, web shooting hands. You can't have Spider-Man without these, right? And the paint on these, I don't know if I checked the other hands, but these hands look great as well on the web lines. And lastly, we have the open palm wall crawling hands right here. Another must-have for Spidey and all his great articulation. Absolutely love all of these hands. All right, next up for Spidey are the wings. There are two sets, the extended and the retracted. These are the extended, believe it or not. Not much extending going on here. There are some ports underneath this arm, which the other molds also share. They didn't take it out, even the ones that don't come with the wings. And we kind of get these under here, and they come across his back. And there is a left and a right. They kind of look weird in the back. Actually, they kind of look weird in the front as well. You kind of plug them in like this. Once they're in there, they kind of look good from the front like this, from certain angles. He's got the extended wings. He's always had wings. A lot of people think they just thought this up, but I think at some point they quit drawing it in and it was left out or whatever. But on the back, it kind of looks like, yeesh, it's making an X, make you think like you got it wrong, but this is how it's supposed to look. And this gives him the ability to glide in between slinging webs. He can, and then fly off. And here are the retracted wings. You got to kind of put the arms down to get it to work. Like this, and they're just hanging around. They actually look better while he's relaxed than the other ones do extended. You see the folds, you can see the web lines. Looks pretty cool. All right, it's time to give Spider-Man a size up and a rundown. Superior Spider-Man along with the Prowler. Here he is next to Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Kingpin, Marvel Legends Carnage and Venom, Marvel Legends Eddie Brock and Black Suit Spider-Man, the hated 6-armed Spider-Man and Poison. And closing out the Spider-Verse theme size up and rundown, here are a couple Gamerverse figures. Representing DC Multiverse, here is Superman, the greatest. Alright, now it's time to put my favorite wall crawler next to some vintage artwork to see how well this figure pulls off the articulation. My attempt at the Amazing Fantasy cover. Alright, to give you my final thoughts on this guy, this should be brief. I like the figure. Only thing I don't love about it is the Amazing Fantasy suit colors. This is basically black. It's the best body style for Spider-Man out there, in my opinion. So I can't help but love it. But I would have preferred a reissue of the cel-shaded Spider-Man on this retro card, or a reissue of the Spider-Man is Amazing Friend Spider-Man, which is the same body, but I just prefer the lighter blue. And as far as the blue logo on the back of the suit, I don't know why they did that. I'm assuming to differentiate it from the previous release in the windowless packaging, because that spider on the back of his suit was red. Other than that, love this figure. Love the accessories. Most of the accessories are hands. He only came with the one spider web that he could swing from. I really wish he had came with a couple of the spider splotches that, like, I guess stick to the wall when he missed or whatever, or the capture spider web to go around his shoulders. They came with like a few of the guys. I know he came with the Gamerverse that I have. I would have liked to get some more of those. But I'm happy with the accessories they packed in. I just always have a wish list. First, by the way, he is a Target exclusive. He was released, he was street dated for 11/5/2023. You can check your Target app to see if it's available at your store. It doesn't say it's available online, but it's available in store. And if you don't see it on the shelf, you can ask the guys to go to the back and grab it. And if you love Spider-Man like I love Spider-Man, I suggest you guys pick it up. And that's all I got for you. I want to thank everybody for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews of every toy has a story.